Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and typically when you're shopping for an external hard drive, you have to choose between performance or capacity, but there's a new hard drive out from SanDisk that gives you the best of both worlds. This is the Desk Drive SSD, and as you can see, this particular one has 8 terabytes of storage. Their other one has 4 terabytes, and that's a lot for a solid-state drive. And we're going to be taking a closer look at this device and see how it performs in just a second. But I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that SanDisk sent this to the channel free of charge for my review. However, they are not reviewing or approving what you're about to see before it was uploaded. No other compensation was received, and all of the opinions you're about to hear are my own. So let's get into it now and see what this new hard drive is all about. Now, the price point on this comes in at $379 for the 4 terabyte version and $699 for the 8 terabyte. It is definitely priced a bit higher than what a mechanical drive would cost. And of course, you could build your own if you are capable with an NVMe drive and an enclosure. But if you wanted something turnkey with a 3-year warranty, I think this will certainly fit the bill. And one thing that I like about it is that it doesn't make any noise. So on my cheap IKEA desk over there, I've got a mechanical drive that I use for backups, and I often leave it unplugged because it's constantly revving up and down. I can feel the desk vibrating. This will sit silent and give me that level of capacity. So I think it will have a pretty decent use case. There's nothing smart about this. It is simply an external drive that will work with anything that supports external hard drives. It comes formatted for exFAT, so it'll work with Windows and Mac out of the gate and on many flavors of Linux, but of course you can reformat it to whatever you need it to be. There isn't much to it insofar as ports are concerned, just a single Gen 2 USB Type-C port right here. It'll support up to 10 gigabits per second over that connection if your computer supports that. It does require external power, so it will not be powered off your computer, and it does come with a small little wall wart that needs to be plugged in for it to work. And you get a Kensington lock slot on here to prevent it from getting walked away with. So that is pretty much it. So it does feel pretty nice. It is a plastic case. It will warm up a little bit when it's being used, but that's just the passive heat design at work, so don't be concerned about the heat on it. It's got a good weight to it also with a nice rubber foot, so it'll pretty much hold itself where you put it on the desk. So let's fire it up now and see how it performs. All right, so I've got it hooked up right now to this low-cost ThinkPad we'll be looking at later this week. And on it right now, I am running the Blackmagic disk speed test. And this is a great test to see what kind of throughput we can expect from the drive. And we're getting about 850 megabytes per second on writes and a little bit more than that on reads. In fact, I got slightly better performance out of a desktop that I hooked it up to a little earlier. So you can see here we definitely have the capacity now and the performance to do very quick backups, but also to use this as a storage repository for a large video editing project, for example, or a large photo library. And I can see professionals kind of buying up a bunch of these for some of the projects that they're working on because you can store quite a bit on it. Now, a little bit earlier, I also ran the Crystal Diskmark test, and I ran that on my gaming PC upstairs that has a slightly better USB controller. And there we got even better sequential reads and writes scores north of 900 megabytes per second. And you can also see how it did on random reads and writes, which are the numbers below it. And this is all very much in line with what I typically see on external solid-state drives that have less capacity. So if you were looking to do more than just back stuff up, this will be able to do that without issue, and certainly do so much faster than an 8 terabyte mechanical drive would deliver to you. Now, as far as backing up is concerned, this drive will work with just about any software that supports external hard drives. And of course, when I plugged it into my Mac, the Mac was wondering if I'd like to connect it to Time Machine, which is the Mac's built-in backup system. But they also give you a license on the Mac and Windows for Acronis True Image, which is a pretty decent backup utility. The only catch here is that you must have a SanDisk or Western Digital /WD hard drive connected to the computer for the software to work. It will not back up to anyone else's drive but SanDisk or WD. You can, of course, buy a separate license for the software to have it work with anything, but if you want to use what they give you, you've got to connect it to one of their drives. But the utility here is pretty expansive. So as you can see here, I did a backup here for just a few files on my computer, and I can go in and change that later if I want. I can also set up a new backup job that will allow me to back up the entire computer, specific disks, files, or folders, or any WD NAS devices that I have on the network, but not anybody else's. Additionally, they have some other tools like the ability to clone a drive, so you could make a direct copy of your system disk, for example, along with a few other things. So a pretty nice piece of software here, and if you have a bunch of WD drives beyond this one, you won't need to buy anything else to get a good amount of use out of it. So overall, if you need a lot of storage capacity at your desk and are sick of hearing your hard drive spinning up and down, I think you'll like this product quite a bit. It does deliver a lot of capacity. It gives you a huge performance boost over mechanical drives, and of course doesn't make any noise at all. There is a price premium for this versus a mechanical drive with 8 terabytes of capacity, but I think the performance gains and the silent running might be enough to justify the higher price tag. That's going to do it for this one. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Brian Parker, Budley, Hot Sauce and Video Games, Steve Green, and Amda Brown. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.